when you see everyone come together, how everyone's rallied around me, this is what America's supposed to be about, and this is what we stand for.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the crazy story of Kim Glass, the silver medal award-winning Olympic volleyball player who was attacked at random in downtown Los Angeles during the daytime. Now, you may or may not have seen her on social media with her eye looking really, really bad. Let me explain what happened. So she's in downtown Los Angeles eating with her friend. And after she gets done, she's just walking, minding her own business. Well, all of a sudden, this homeless guy throws a 10-inch bolt at her and hits her in the face. There's video of it. If you must see it, there's a link in the description. But it was a crazy mess, blood everywhere. There were several fractures and cuts, and it was a mess. And shout out to the Good Samaritan by the name of Benson Parks, who chased this so-called homeless guy down and caught him and held him there for the police to get there. And the guy has been arrested, but of course, he is no stranger to police. He already has prior felony convictions for the same thing, beating up on women at random. He has a conviction at least going back to 2019, but they may have been in charge of 2018. There was probation at first, then there was a penitentiary term, but he was out on parole. I wonder why. In a 3-strike state, I thought that you had escalating punishment for each felony conviction. Maybe not. George Gaston doesn't really believe in the 3-strike rule. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before I go any further, let's roll this clip. In the clip, you're going to see Kim Glass on Fox News pouring her heart out. And I'm going to tell you right now, okay, I'm not necessarily the biggest crier in the world, but I was crying straight up, like not like boo-hooing, but I was like right at the precipice of boo-hooing. But after we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what she said there. Then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents and my deep detailed analysis. And then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Kim, welcome. How are you feeling?
Hi, how are you? Man, I'm healing. My emotions change every day. You know, I'm always really grateful and happy that this didn't turn out as bad as it could have been. But, I'll be in the car with someone and someone will come up towards the car. I like freak out sometimes. So every day is a little bit different. I'm still processing this all.
Yeah, Kim, we just want to remind viewers, this was in downtown Los Angeles. Daylight.
Right.
And out of nowhere, you get socked by a 10-inch bolt. And I just have to think, when you think back on that, there has to be something in your mind that's saying, why in the world did that happen? And when you ask yourself that, how do you answer it?
You know, I sat with it. I was thinking about it in the ambulance as I was talking to my mom on FaceTime. And I was like, Mom, I don't know why this happened to me. And I was like, there's nothing I could have done to prevent it. You know, like, I think sometimes we feel like kind of immune when we're walking in the daytime, right? Regardless. And I think about what I could have done. And for me, I feel like I'm always alert, and there's nothing I could have done to prevent this. You know, I know everyone's out there offering me self-defense classes and how'd you let him get close to you? I'm like, he wasn't close, and I could have never predicted this happening. And as I've been home and thinking about this, I said, God, you chose me for a reason, you know, and the reason is, one, you know, I'm hard-headed, so you knew I was going to make it, and I think, and you know that I still have work to do here, and, but also because he had other attackers, and there's been other victims around Los Angeles, and it keeps on happening, and everyone's paying attention to me because I'm an Olympian, right? But these other attackers haven't been, the other victims haven't been vindicated, right? Every time someone's being let out on the street again and again, they're doing a disservice, and they're pretty much saying that these victims' traumas were in vain. And now, like, I'm hoping that this doesn't happen to anyone else again. And however I can help, I think that's what it's
a strong message.
Because of that, you're calling for change. What do you think could help crack down on attacks like this from happening?
Well, when I look at it, it's like, you know, I think that we all deserve the opportunities of freedom, you know, but not if you're a terror to society. And this is this history has repeated itself with this, right? He was let out on probation and he attacked someone else, and that was a misdemeanor, right? But before that, he had already assault and battered 2 other people, and they were all women, right? And so what does it take? You know, like, we just keep dropping the ball and we keep dropping the ball. You know, I look at it like this, like, I'm a professional. I was a professional athlete, right? I've been a part of teams all my life, right? And if I keep doing something wrong the entire time, I have to change something because it's not working for the team. You know? And if I'm not changing something, then I get taken out and someone else replaces me. And at this point, what's the answer? You know? Because everything that we're doing right now is not working.
Yeah, well,
and there needs to be a change. And that's evident.
A lot of that answer, frankly, comes from people like you when you go public. I mean, we're looking at you. We know what you look like in the hours after. You look terrific, by the way, beforehand and after.
Thank you.
But when you go public and tell people, hey, man, we can't live like this. Let's get our house in order so that people like me don't have to suffer because of the decisions of other people that they're making for us. That's your purpose now.
I know, man. And I just hope that God leads me and is like, gives me the right words or just leads me in the direction that's for everyone's highest good. Sorry.
We wish you could.
Because, you know, I didn't expect all this.
Through the TV camera to you.
Kim, we're praying for you.
Thanks.
Hang tough. You have more people behind you than you have any idea. So many people support you.
I feel it, you guys. It's crazy. And I think that this is what we stand for, right? All the bad that's happened, I tell you, and how divided our country is. But I tell you, like, when you see everyone come together, how everyone's rallied around me, this is what America's supposed to be about, and this is what we stand for. And we got to do this together, you know?
Amen to that. Yeah. Hang tough.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I'm
Kim.
not a pretty crier.
Yeah. Hang tough.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for sharing your story.
And we'll keep sharing it. We'll check back in with you.
Thank you guys for talking to me.
You bet.
Right.
Kim, thanks.
Thanks
Kim
for what
Glass
you do.
in Los Angeles.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, I know that was kind of a long clip, but I had to let it play. I watched that this morning on Fox. Like, I was just watching TV at random, and I saw that she was going to come on and be a guest. I'm like, okay, I got to see this because I've seen her on social media talk about it, but I wanted to see her live. And the emotion I felt, I mean, I was empathetic toward what she was going through. Let's just pause for a minute because in all this stuff we talk about with feminism and equality, we forget that women are still women, right? Women are still women. They're the fairer sex. So when I see a man strike this woman with a boat for no reason at all, totally random, he did not know her, she did not know him. When I see that and I see her going through all those emotions, trying to be tough, but still a woman still going through that like anybody would, especially a young lady. Oh man, that melted me. It was like I saw like one of my little cousins or something like that. Like I want to go out there and do something to that guy that did that to her. And again, shout out to the Good Samaritan, Benson Parks. You know, I did a video about Good Samaritans and how you could lose your life behind that because this guy obviously was crazy. He could have had a gun. He could have had anything on him. But shout out to the guy for holding him there. He did his job. She is doing her job by staying strong as she can and surviving and healing. She's doing her job. The Good Samaritan did his job. Now, will the DA, George Gascon, do his job? Will they charge this guy appropriately? Will they keep him in jail forever? Because, again, as far as I know, you're in a 3-strike state in California. You have escalating penalties for each felony conviction. Once you get to your 3rd conviction, you're talking about 25 with the L. Get thrown away forever. You're up under the penitentiary. We won't see you no more. Okay, 51 years old, the attacker is. So even if you get out after the 25 years, you're probably going to be dead in your 70s. Okay, you're probably a crackhead or something like that, which is part of the problem in Los Angeles. You promote the drug use. You let everything just happen. You let people just get out on parole when they shouldn't be out on parole. They should be locked up. Some are going to say, oh, well, some of these guys, they need to be out because they got petty drug charges. Please stop. This guy had a history of violent crime, violence. When you're talking about people that just have a joint in their car, okay, or some random crackhead that's not violent, which is kind of oxymoron. We're talking about a violent, dangerous criminal with a pattern of attacking women. So, I mean, what are we doing? Los Angeles is not safe. If you live in the hills and you have this big, pretty gate in front and it's far away, and private security and your own police and fire and rescue force, okay, that's one thing. But if you live right downtown, if you live somewhere else outside of the hills, you're not safe. Not only do you have these crazy crackheads, people that got all kind of mental problems, dangerous criminals who should be locked up that are not locked up, you also have gangland. You have the Bloods, Crips, like MA, et cetera, so on and so forth. It's not really being checked by local authorities because they're being tied up. They can't really do too much. You lock somebody up, they get right back out on the street to commit more crime. So I think that this story should be kind of a cautionary tale. You're living in Los Angeles. You're living in a place where the police can't really do too much. You're not safe. You are not safe. And it's up to just random people to try to protect themselves. But then what are you to do when you're not allowed to have guns? You can't have a gun in California. They're trying to restrict your gun access. But then they say, okay, we're going to defund the police. So no police, no guns, but yet the criminals do whatever they want. They got all kinds of weapons. They throwing stuff at you. They throwing whatever they want. It could be their own body waste. It could be objects. They can shoot you, stab you. Gangs can come, organize, rob you, middle of the daytime, follow you back to your nice, cushy hill home and rob you there, kill you there. How many rappers have been killed in the Hollywood Hills? How many regular folks have been robbed right there on Sunset, Rodeo, et cetera, et cetera? It's not safe. People tell me all the time, it's like, you know what? I want to go to Los Angeles. I want to go to California. It's like, really? I'm talking about normies now. I ain't talking about politically aware people. I'm like, you want to go to California for real? Well, I mean, you better off going to Fallujah or somewhere like that because it's not safe. Okay? But shout out to Kim Glass for going on television and being strong. I mean, I was struggling to be strong just watching her. I can only imagine what she's going through. I mean, imagine that. It's a beautiful day, Los Angeles, having a little bit of brunch, whatever it is, and all of a sudden you get hit with a boat and your eye is almost out your head. How do you even process that? But and then the thing is, you kind of played over in your mind, like, what could I have done to prevent it? Only thing you could have done to prevent it is just not go to Los Angeles, because she does not appear to be somebody that doesn't know how to, be aware of what's going on. She's pretty tall. She has, good peripheral vision. But if somebody's like in the cut and they've been watching you for a while and they know right when to do it and how are you going to really, how can you really plan for that? We're doing the best we can. We're law-abiding citizens. We're not bothering anybody. Local law enforcement must be able to do their job. The judges must be able to do their job. I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying they must be able to. They can't have these rules that supersede them, that dictate how they're going to operate. Lock these criminals up, keep them behind bars, because thank God Miss Glass survived. She could have died right there on the sidewalk. Then what? What was it worth to let this piece of garbage out on parole to go out there and kill somebody, to go out there and permanently damage somebody? You see what she was saying, and she has PTSD already. Somebody comes to the car door too fast, she's scared. That's PTSD. How many more victims must there be before we say, you know what, enough's enough and no more? But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what said you? How do you feel about what's going on here with Los Angeles and Gascon and just the ridiculousness of these criminals being allowed to be on the street and attack random people for no reason? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Lock these guys up. Throw away the key. I don't care about anything that anyone wants to say. These guys do not belong in the streets at all. They belong in the penitentiary, behind bars. Point blank, period. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.